Here is the famous intersection, the Kisii Hispania. As we are standing here at this intersection, this is the road that is heading to Hispania. If you move further a little ahead, you make a turn on your left that heads to another town called Kianja. But right here where we stand, at this busy intersection, is our route leading to New Bay. In less than a kilometer, just a few meters away, is our Nyamome Church. And when you make a turn going backward, that is the town where we came from. You can see how our town, the road that comes from town is very busy. Several people passing by. So as you turn around and you come to me where I am, you can read and see what is written. Kisii Hispania, the A1 road. This is a very beautiful road. So I want to take a walk with you a little bit and show you the road that heads to the side of Kianja. Then we will make a turn and we begin our journey now from here as we head to Masara, where we have the new project coming up for the academy. And at the same time as we are heading to Masara, we will stop at the center to see where most of the water supply and distribution is taking place. So before we move, I want us now to take a journey from here as we head. This is the route that anytime God will bring you, you will go along with me. This is the same road where I ride every Sunday coming to the Nyamome Church. And therefore, as we start from this intersection, I want us to make just a small move and stop at the Nyamome Church. Then we will go to Masara Center where we are doing the water distribution and also in other places. But more so, the exciting place, our home, where we have diversity of projects going home and quite exciting. So take a walk together with me. Thank you. We have started a walk here at the intersection, and here is now our route heading to New Bay. And I want you to go with me as we walk this journey. You go along and to enjoy this ride. It will be quite exciting. Can we come along? Here is where our car is parked. And from here we are going to make a stop at the Nyamome Church. The journey is quite exciting. And the other stop will be at the market where we see the exercise. Can you come along? Nyamome Primary School under the Ministry of Education. And if you take a little turn, here is the entrance, the gate penetrating, and when you see from the inside is the Nyamome Primary School. Here is a government school, and children come here as normal for the different grades of studying. And when we make a turn together with you, is the main road. The road that we have just branched from the intersection. And when we make a stop here, looking on the opposite side is a small shopping center. We call it the Nyamome Shopping Center. And right here at this center is where we make a stop every time we come to our Nyamome Global Gospel Fellowship Church. And sometimes when we finish our services here, you find the time is very late. Children are hungry, mothers and fathers, and they come from far places. So sometimes we are compelled even to buy a bottle of soda at this place, and especially for our kids. So this is also where you can take a stop for investments, and also it is close to the church. So I just want to show you the road that is branching to our church, and then we proceed our journey. And our next stop will be at the shopping center where we do the water distribution. When we are still at the shopping center, here is where we drive. And it is a small root penetrating inside. This place uses to be very waterlogged. We have spent a lot of our resources bringing the kind of stones and the marbles that has made it now possible for us. So I just want to open this road a little bit, and inside the woods is our church, and then we make continue with our journey. The slopes is the continuity of the small houseway over the road that leads to the church. And walking, coming from a distance, is our treasurer, the loud Sister Jane. And this is where we always pass as we go to our church, and because it is our home. But this is why it's passed every time when it goes to school. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you so much. Let us stop. From this point, looking far away, you see now where the Nyamome Church is situated. A very beautiful house, and our appreciation that we lack words to express goes to the Jubilee Church. And it is not only the church alone at a distance. You see the electricity poles, and adjacent is Jane's beautiful home with the tank. You see the overhead tank, and also we added another tank because sometimes we have shortage of water from the government. It takes long, so during those periods sometimes water becomes a problem. So she also decided to use the water cut measurement from the roof to give water at times when we don't have water, the city water. And that is also for collecting water. And look how the place looks beautiful. Looking down here, you see the kind of water, how the place is filled with the water most of the times. And that's why we have tried to put Maram on this road, so we could access our church, and Sister Jane also can access our home. So there is a big difference that has been brought here. The place looks lively. You can look at the children sitting outside, and this is quite exciting. This is what God is doing. So from here we take a journey down to Masara, and there's still quite many exciting things to be seen, especially at this time when the Masara Academy is already about to be proposed. We are thanking God for what He is doing, for all the transformation, all the growth, all the development, all the blessings. God bless you so much. Thank you. Our journey is arriving at Masara Shopping Center, where most of our water distribution and supplies is taking place. There are several other places, other shopping centers around, other market, our homes, where we deliver water. And here we are entering the Masara Shopping Center. As you can look further, now our road which started from the intersection has arrived here. And you can see our tuk-tuk that is delivering water in this shopping center every day, helping many lives. People who use clean water for preparing food for the people of this community. Now there is a big relief because our clean water is being supplied all over this place, and people are using clean and hygienic water. Coming at a slow speed is our tuk-tuk. This man is very busy going along this center, delivering water. And the shopping center here, there are several food kiosks and many places. So it is quite enjoyable seeing what God can do. We thank God so much for the miracle and for the blessings of what He is doing. We thank the Jubilee. It's changing the lives here. It's changing the community at all. And we thank God for what He is doing. This is the grace of God. So we are going down to the another kind of intersection, a junction, where we are going to divert to see where we are soon going to connect our electricity at the point we'll be connecting the electricity from up to our home. So let's go together with you. Thank you. Some water jars. So after coming to this point, we take these jerrycans to people who have requested for water, and then he works to do the delivery. He's giving them free water. Those who are doing constructions, because sometimes there is shortage of water, so even those who are doing construction at times are being given water. And that is how we do our distribution, and also at some small cost. So for the maintenance, for the running of our projects, support of the windows and helpers. So this is how it's doing the delivery every day. And we thank God for that great work. From this point, we are going to pass through the center, going to the next junction, which is at Masara Primary School, where we are going to make our turn to where we will be connecting our electricity from. We are now entering the Masara Shopping Center, and we are driving slowly as we are will be passing here. We are going down to Masara Primary School. We have arrived at the intersection, and here you can see from the billboard Tsunami Uhuru Bay, and this is the main road that we have come through. We have just passed the shopping center. As the path is going straight, it ends to Uhuru Bay, and here showing the direction that is heading to Karungu Bay. So here is where we are going to make a turn, and we go just a few meters down where we are going to see the place where our electricity will be connected from. So we are making a turn here, and just at a distance is the Masara Primary School. In the woods, you see some buildings. That is the Masara Primary School, where we have the government school here. So as we are moving, we have come from the intersection at the Masara Primary School. This is the road that is heading to Uhuru Bay. And just down here, we are stopping at a small stream, a kind of distributor. It's a seasonal one. This is the only small river in this our community. It runs down to my home, it goes down, and it is very small. It is the only seasonal river. So other sources of getting water here is through these mining sites, places where water has been done, which has been contaminated. So I want to walk with you down to the small distributor near the stream, and you see the river Kwaj. Then we make a turn and we see where we will be connecting our electricity from. Can you come on? We are in the middle of spring season, and there is water everywhere. And that's why you see there is some water running down this river. Otherwise it is dry most of the times. So I want us to make a turn and see the point where our electricity will be connected from. And it crosses the bridge. So this is the side that goes down to where we are going to have the academy. The academy will be almost close to this seasonal river. It is just adjacent to it. But because we have no confidence in this, there is no hope in this, it is dry most of the times, and the water is already contaminated. We did not have that reason of depending on this water. But we thank God that already we have our big water project, which is there for all the seasons. So our children will both have clean water, and at the same time, we will be very sure that they will have plenty of water all the season. We thank God for this great provision. Has been identified that it will begin from here. This is where the connection will begin from, just behind the road here, and then it will penetrate through the homes you see around, passing straight, passing a few homes, right to where we have our projects. We have the property for Masara projects, like the academy, like the postal mill, like the water, and the many other projects that are already been implemented, and the ones that are still in the future, trusting God that we will arrive at all our objectives as we see what God is doing for us. Thank you. On this side is the Suluising place or project which we had covered with Bishop Bismarck in our previous documentary, where he explained how the process is taking place. And on the opposite side is on the opposite side, as we cross this road, is the point where our electricity is going to be connected from. So let's take a walk, and we stop at the main poles which have been identified that the connection will start from. If you check from the above skies, you see the electricity passing through here, going those directions of road, but it is stopped somewhere in between. The line to which we are going to connect our electricity from this point, and it will be going straight, passing through homes as I've explained. So here will be at least where we begin from.
Yes.
The entrance to Masara Primary School. We are at a time when our schools are closed, and therefore there are no pupils learning at the moment. And maybe if you look beyond inside are the classes. Looking far beyond are homes on the other side of the river. Here we have a big river called River Munyu. From this side you can see homes, villages on the further hand, and there is a very sharp corner here in form of a S. So that is, this place is called Corner S. This is the road that is heading to Miuru Bay. And when you take this route, you make a turn here. This is where you make a turn when you head to our project in this community. There is now the footpath, but it is a big road enough. Here is where we always branch when going home. I prefer this route because it is a bit clean and big and proper and well managed than the one on the other side, which was heading to Suri, the point where we'll be connecting our electricity. And here is now the road. As I'm standing here, I'm facing back to Masara Shopping Center. And when I make a turn like this and come to this side, here we are going down to the corner house. There is a bridge there, and this is the road that is heading to Miuru Bay. So here we are making a turn, and as we make a turn, we are going straight where we have the property, our property, with all our projects at Masara here. Electricity will be connected to this point, all the way from the road where we saw the poles already in place, and this is the church. This is called Steel Heifer Church, and it is within our property. We have a big piece of land that is connecting from where we have the projects down to here. And this piece of land was offered freely to Pepper Church. My mother was a pastor for several years with the Pepper Church until her death, and she's the one who founded this church here. During our time of service with the Pepper Church, and as a pastor here, shepherding the church here, she built small houses like the one we see on the other hand. There were such small houses here where we have the new big church under construction, which will be completed in the future. So there used to be some small houses. They were serving as guest houses. There was a period also my mom stayed here for a very long time as she was bringing up the structures and the administration here. And she was such a wonderful pastor. She trained many people into the ministry. She traveled many places and many nations doing the work of God. So when I shared the story with the KPLC, they also felt that in the honor of my mom, who is now the person whom the Lord put on this ground, she founded the ministry and she gave birth to her. And because of her faithful service with God, God has opened a door. We see all these miracles that are taking place, these projects which are here, and with the promise that God gave her, that she will be like a city built on the hill. They felt that in the honor of her, the electricity should be extended to this point. So the electricity will come down to this church, and then there are several homes which will also benefit from this electricity. So we thank God for such big miracles. And here we are now making a turn. From here we are going to make a turn at this point. And this is where our property, our family property ends. The other one belongs to another person. And from this point where our property ends, up to the road is where we are going to connect electricity to several homes. Here is part of our family, extended family. Electricity will come to this point, and then to many homes which are along the electricity line. This is the entry from the tarmac road where we saw the electricity poles, from where our electricity will be connected. It will come along this road, and there are homes in between here. So the electricity will come, and this is how we'll go. The poles will come this way. So this is the road. And arriving at this point, this is the property where the Springs of Relief Academy is going to be built. Remember, I told you it is a very big property, and as we begin the work here, even common sense tells us that when we receive our first funding, we'll start by clearing this bush, and we will bring the fence. But eventually, after the school is built, we will also have a gate from up here. Can you turn up? There will be a gate from this point, because it is a requirement with the government that you have an institution like school, it must be properly fenced with a gate, with the security, and a person taking charge at the entrance. So this vast land down to the Kwach stream. Remember when we were at the point where I showed you the solution place, we saw this stream down there. It is our stream which is seasonal, as I told you. So this vast land down to the stream, the further hand down to the stream, and to those points, those ends, all of this vast land will use it for the academy. And so we will have been worried that the stream is seasonal, and it will have not served us maybe during the construction, even when our children will be here. But now we thank God, because if you turn up with me, if we come this way, I just want you to come with me this way, then if we stand at this point, and now we make a turn, from that small distance is my house. Going beyond, you see the big water tower and the solars. That is our water storage point. So from the water storage point, we will just do some small plumbing, some piping. From that point, we'll be using the overhead tank because of pressure reasons, and the pipes will come down to this point. So when we come to the property here, we will have just another tank. We'll build another tank within the school premise where we'll always have water. And now they will simply release the taps, and there will be clean water throughout in the school. So as the water is pumped from up, there will always be water in the school tank. So we have no problem for water, and we thank God for this great miracle. And from this end is where the electricity, as it will extend going to the projects up, there will be another pole coming down here. So electricity will be here, water will be here, and we thank God for this big miracle, because it is not easy that you come to a remote village like this, a community, a third world community like this, and you find water available, you find electricity, you find all these facilities. And also, without forgetting, if you look from that end, near the water tower is our poso mill, which is already been brought. So our children, when we'll be making cornbread here, we'll have our poso mill, and we will be making our flour here, and even for our widows. So we will be. It is a complete city of its own. It is a complete place where we have everything under one roof. When we need food, we'll have a store here. When we need make cornbread, we'll be doing our grinding here. We have our water here. We have our school here. We have electricity here. All this will be brought together. Here we'll have toilets. We'll have all other facilities, the office, the dining. They are all coming up at this point. Let's move on. Here is now the main gate leading to my home. This place is enough where we built a gate here, and fencing has been going on. This side, they are almost through with the fencing, and this fencing, it comes down to this point. Then it extends, and then it turns up from there. It goes up, and when it arrives at the point up, which I'm going to show you, we will have another gate. But before we come to that gate, let me explain. This is the gate that will be entering my home, which is just up here, and also the projects are just at a small distance. So also on this side, from this side is where we are going to have fencing for the school. It will begin from the trees there, going this way down to those sides. Beyond where my fencing has ended, it will extend. It will go like this. The whole of this vast land down to the stream. So here will be another fence. This fence will be separated, the fence ending. So the road in between now heads to the bishop's home or my brother's, which is from some distance. You see my brother's house. And if you extend with this road, going a little bit ahead, is the mining project that is directed or managed by my brother. So this is how, let's go this way. Our fencing ends here. This is where my fence ends. And now inside are the community-based projects. Inside we have the water project. Inside we have the Poso mill. Inside we'll have other projects like bottled water project that will come at some point. And during the time when tankers, will have maybe a tanker that will be distributing water maybe to distant towns and communities. So the main gate there will also be used with the water tankers. The buses, they also pass through that gate, and maybe we have other trucks that will be collecting bottled water. And so when we will be doing this business, when the opportunity will come, they will also be using the gate here, that entrance here. So our fencing extends. It extends up. And on the other side is the bishop's home. So the fencing is separating now the community project from the bishop's home. It turns here and it goes up. So here is the fence, one end of the fence for my home, and the other end is beyond the trees or the woods on that side. And inside here is some good garden, is some trees. You see how it is beautiful. And now here, this space you see here, according to Luo customs or African customs or culture, even though our mom has passed on, still we must respect and honor her gate. There must be a gate designated for her. So people who are coming to our home must have a gate which is separated from my gate. And now here will be a pathway leading to my mom's homestead gate. And now that gate, instead of being my mom's gate because my mom is no more, it will be the gate leading to the projects, the community-based projects. So on this side, there will be another fencing. That fencing will now separate the bishop's home or my brother's home on the other side. So there will be another fence going up, and now this vast place straight here will be the road leading to both my mom's house and also the community-based projects. So we'll be cutting down those trees that are on the road. I want now to show you the gate that will be entering the projects from this end. So this open place here will be another gate. This is now the gate will supposedly belongs to my mom, which is now deceased. So this is the main gate, the main entrance. Because already the fencing has been done around, that people cannot just get from any point to the community projects. It means we have only this one point, which is the entry point. So people will be coming, maybe you come from whichever direction, but you'll have to pass through the gate, which will build a gate here, which is the gate and or close at times, for security purposes or for some other reasons. So this will be the main entrance, the gate that is now leading to the projects inside. And our fencing goes beyond this gate. It comes to this point. Okay. The homestead hub here belongs to my step brothers, and you see the main buildings. My dad was a polygamist, so these are sons from the other mother, from my stepmother, and our fence is connected from here. So it starts from here, it goes down as you've seen, it extends from this side to the farthest end. Then from that end, it goes to the water point. Then it turns down until we reach the point where we'll have the academy on the other side. So inside here are the projects and my home. House that used to be my mom's house, as we will still preserve it for an heritage. It will be here with us. We are using it today. Our craftsmen use it. It serves as some stove. It's a place where our craftsmen, when they come here and they live, like now we have several people doing different things here, different work, like putting the fence, like building this, the grinding house and other activities. This is a place where when they come, they stay with us, they find a place to sleep at night. So this used to be my mom's house, and we still honor it and preserve it as an heritage with us. The community project ground here, or property, here is where we are proposing that at some point in the future, we will pull this old kind of building and put a beautiful house here for our guests. Because we believe at some point in life, you will be also interested or directed by God, or having that heart to come and see the blessings we are celebrating here. So when our guests come, because we have all the facilities, we will have electricity, we will have water, we will not see even the necessity of taking our guests to Migori and spending a lot of money in hotels. Maybe we can divert that money and it help in charitable activities. So at some point in the future, through the blessings and the provisions of God, here is where we'll have a beautiful guest house, just built in the hope that God will be giving us guests that will be coming to praise God with us, pray with us together, celebrate what God is doing. This is the place they will be coming at that point which God has himself out for us. Look how our grinder's house looks now very beautiful. Down here, it has been cemented, and from some far end, that is the chassis, the base, where we will put the grinder when electricity is connected. Now we are still keeping it in my house, simply because for some security reasons. But already we have this metal door. It is a very strong one, and we will use a padlock to lock it. So the house is almost completed now. We are waiting for it to dry up. It is well built with a metal door, and the grinder chassis. So this is already fixed at this place. There were some big timbers put on the ground, which is now covered with the cement, and then some nails were driven in by nails. So it is strong there, you cannot remove it. So we'll just bring the grinder and place it there on top. So this is now the grinding house. It looks now almost complete, very beautiful. We have in plans to pull down because of its placing near the water borehole place, and just in front of my house. very close to my house, health-wise and with hygienical rules. It is not recommended this way, that it should be very as close as here. So we'll pull it down at some point as God provides the resources or the funds for completing our septic that is on the other side that we're going to see together. Is our fencing, and that is, and on the other hand is my house. And here in the middle is our septic. So when this septic will be completed, we'll put the slab, the structure on top, and this is to serve as the public toilets. Even people who come to collect water here, even our dish, this is the place where they will use when they want, at least they need a restroom, the place they can go and relieve themselves. So when it will be completed, we will pull down the other toilet. So the septic will be here, and you look, now this is, it is on a both side because the fencing extends down, and that is our garden, the gate on the other side, and so it's beside the house, not in front like the other one. So this is how the place is, and it looks very beautiful. And we trust God that these projects will be completed within the time frame that God had ordained, that God had purpose. I like the way Pastor Mark put it, God's speed. So at God's speed, all these projects will be completed. But within this time, the small span of time, like less than less than 2 years, we have seen all these things. We are confident in the Lord that God is doing these things at a very sharp speed. And this is because God loves us, and it's God who has accomplished all this for us. So be blessed again and again in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. My mom's graveyard, because this lady did a great work, she stood with the Lord, and the promises of things we are seeing today began with her. Everything we have in this place, always that picture that God honored her and her relentless ministry. So we will build some small house in the future here. You can come for just resting and sitting and studying and praying, some small. So in respect of her, in memory of her, we'll have some small structure, some small house here. So this place is preserved in honor of our mom's relentless ministry and the service, the steady service that she did in the ministry. The fencing will run from here, going down to the road where the electricity will be connected, as I've explained to you. So this is another end of the property, and inside now is my home and also the projects. We thought of separating in between here with the fence, but it is will make the space very small, even when we have tankers where they want to make a turn and when you want to make a free movement. So you may skip having a fence in the middle there, just the way it is. So my home and the projects are put together, and then we have the two gates, one entering my home and the main one that entering the projects, as I have mentioned. And also down there is now the water kiosk, and we have that mango tree, and the other side are now the water tanks and the solars and the tower. And coming this side is the beautiful garden. Coming this side is the beautiful garden, and because our plants are enjoying excessive water from around, you look how our garden is very appetizing, beautiful. You look at our bananas, you look at our pawpaws, look at our bananas and the pawpaws, and look, this is a small pawpaw tree, and see all the pawpaws, and look at our bananas. This is quite beautiful. They have water in all seasons. And then here is our garden. Our garden is also down here. So this is our garden. And when these trees will be big, we'll be using them for timber. Sometimes we don't need to buy timbers. We'll be having timbers within this property. Connecting us, that is the end of our fencing up there. And there is this ground here. This is the open ground here. It is our plan and intention that when we'll have the bottled water farm, the place where a house where we'll be doing the refinery, it will be here. We'll set this place, we'll have a building here, and that's where we'll have a house or a structure where we'll be refining the water, the bottled water, ready to be distributed across Kenya in many places. Everywhere we go to the town, people ask us about the springs of water. They believe this is a miracle water, this is a sweet water. And those times are coming when we'll have bottled water and we'll deliver it across Kenya. Also, we'll have the tanker coming in and also fetching water from here and then maybe delivering the water to many distant places, maybe in functions like funerals and other ceremonies where people assemble together and they need large volumes of water. We also need this place to be to run several businesses. The reason why we need this place to run several businesses is because the kind of programs we are doing, especially the charity, there are a lot which is happening every day. The feeding program, the relief, all these things. So there money coming in and going out every day. And we don't want that all our friends, the Jubilee Church, and maybe our donors, that they do everything. They might be overwhelmed. So when we have outlets that are bringing in money, those programs that are also giving us income, then like now we have the tuk-tuk, and there is some money we get from the tuk-tuk. That is helping us with the feeding and some other programs. You see even the fencing here. Part of the money I used that I got from the balance that was left after buying the grinder and also the surplus which was there. But part of the money also comes from the income that we receive from here. That makes me also to run some other projects without having problems so far. And therefore, that's why we want to initiate all these programs that are bringing in money to help us run all these programs together with the good support, with the sacrifice and the willingness that come from our friends that are standing together with us to come this far we have come. I like us to thank the Jubilee Church, to thank Pastor Mark, to thank Sister Bonnie, to thank Julie, to thank the children, thank the strong board which make this to come. This is one of the unique things, and we thank God for all that He's doing. May God bless you.
Amen. Amen.